Hello coolers, welcome again to Viva Barca, the home of everything Barcelona. In this episode, we are going to be discussing on some three recent developments, starting with Lionel Messi's future. Of course, his contract is still at stake, and today is the 30th of June, and as I speak, we are just hours away from the 1st of July, which means Messi will become a free agent with just some hours to go. But let's not forget, that does not mean the contract, will not be signed, even if tomorrow comes. But it's still a disturbing situation that we need to discuss on, because just recently, Joan Laporta spoke today on the TV station in Spain. He was giving calm to the Barcelona supporters that things will go as smooth as possible, even if today passes by. Because many people were like, oh, if this day passes by means Messi will not play again for Barcelona. No, that is not the case. So we're going to be discussing on the recent developments on that situation. Then secondly, we are going to be talking about Pedri Gonzalez. Of course, we all know recently Pedri was called for the Olympics, for the Spain squad to play the Olympics, and we all know Pedri is burning out as it stands because he played more than 50 games under Ronald Koeman for last season, and Luis Enrique in the Spanish national team in the Euros. He has played more than, in fact, no rest for Pedri whatsoever. We all know, we all watched the Euro. Pedri is a very fundamental player. He has been playing so excellently for the Spanish national side. And of course, when he was called for the Olympics, Barcelona was not happy with that. And they tried now to they went to the Spanish Football Federation and tried to plead, for Pedri to be released from that roster. But so unfortunately, that appeal was turned down by the Spanish Football Federation. Then finally, we are going to be discussing about the LaLiga calendar that have just been, released this evening as I speak. Our opening match is against Real Sociedad at the Camp Nou, and of course, we hope that fans may have returned, because Javier Tebas just recently spoke in an interview that 70%, they are hoping that 70% of La Liga stadiums will be occupied, and maybe by November it will be full capacity. So some key dates, we'll be discussing on some of those key dates. El Clasico, of course, we'll be discussing much on that, some key clashes as we progress, so don't miss out. So callers, as we get ready into elaborating on these interesting stories, please make sure you give this video a like, and very importantly, click on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any latest Barcelona updates here on Viva Barca. And also make sure you watch this video right up to the very end so you get all the details you won't want to miss. Lionel Messi's contract renewal has been so much on speculation over these past couple of months, and today being the 30th of June, nothing have been said about it. Of course, we the supporters have been waiting for a statement, a confirmation, something of that sort, but nothing have been said so far. And as I speak, we are just hours away, just some few hours away, from Messi to become a free agent. But that does not mean that Messi will not stay at Barca. Most people should not forget that. Of course, today is the 30th of June and his contract is expiring today. Come midnight, Messi will be a free agent. It kind of funnies me when I think about that, But Joan Laporta, as I said in my, introduction, he reportedly, had an interview today where he was talking about, the issue, and he was giving some calm, from the supporters of Barca that everything is under control, no matter that today is the deadline for Messi's contract. But left to me, we don't have anything to worry, colours. We don't have anything to worry about. Messi is still committed to Barca, of course. He has no issue with that. Of course, many rumors have been coming about pay cut. Of course, the veterans are taking a pay cut to stay at the club. Busquets and maybe Roberto, of course, recently talking about contract extension for them. But of course, Messi is still loving this club, and there's no reason whatsoever we should be scared if he will renew or he won't renew the contract. So we just have to put our fingers crossed. Messi is doing well at the Copa America, of course. He's the top goal scorer there with 3 goals, and he's performing very brilliantly. And of course, it's just like there's something going on in the background that we don't know. We don't know anything. I just have that feeling that things are happening and the confirmation will be imminent even after the 30th of June, which is today. So we just have to put our fingers crossed, because I'm very certain, as we all should be so optimistic, that Messi will renew his contract. So enough of that story, and now moving on to the next story, talking about Pedri Gonzalez. as recent reports have just recently emerged that the Spanish Football Federation have rejected Barcelona's appeal for Pedri's name to be removed from that roster, for the players traveling for the Olympics for Spain. A kid of just 18 years, it kind of baffles me that he's been playing a lot. He barely gets a rest. Of course, he's a phenomenal player, a fundamental player for any team he plays. Luis Enrique have been using him in this Euro 2020 tournament for all the matches, just like how we saw last season when Ronald Koeman used him for over 50 games across all competition. Of course, now Barcelona's concern was like, okay, our season starts in August 15 and we don't have much time left, and the Olympics starts in July. Now, given the fact that if Spain progress up to the final, it's just 1 week less to the Olympics starting, and given the fact that Pedri plays in that final and goes for the Olympics just less than 1 week, how would it look like? Pedri have been burnt out, of course, by Ronald Koeman. He played nearly every game. I think he just missed just one game in LaLiga last season. So it really came as a very shocking and very unfortunate news for us guys, as the Spanish Football Federation rejected the offer for Pedri's name to be released, but Barcelona are still they still continue to do that. They don't want to back down, and they are trying to make sure that the appeal works out. So that is how things are right now, and there have been instances in the past where players themselves withdrawn by claiming injuries, but from the look of things, Pedri, however, is believed to be keen on participating in the Olympics, and with Barcelona's request also being rejected, it seems like Pedri will be flying to Tokyo. So, that is not what we wanted. That is not really what we wanted, but it might just happen, and it will be normal that Pedri will come back, without playing our first few games in La Liga. So now moving on to the final story of discussion, guys. The fixtures for the upcoming La Liga season, the 2021-22 season, have just been drawn this evening. So each and every La Liga team notes its first match and some key dates. So talking about Barcelona, we are going to be kickstarting our La Liga season at the Camp Nou against Real Sociedad. Then also some key dates like the El Clasico have also been known, as the first El Clasico would take place on the 24th of October. If my memory serves me right, I quite remember that was the same date we played that Clasico last year, at the Camp Nou, where we lost 3-1. So those are the key dates. Then also, the second Clasico of the season, will take place at the Santiago Bernabeu. That will be match day 29, on the 20th of March 2022. Then also some other important clashes like the game against Espanyol, of course, our rivals who just returned to La Liga from the Segunda B. The dates have been confirmed as well. First leg will take place at the Camp Nou in the weekend of 21 November and at the RCDE Stadium. The second leg will take place on the 13th of February 2022. Then Barca will head to Atletico Madrid in match day 8, on the 3rd of October 2021 and welcome the champions to the Camp Nou on match week 23 on the 6th of February 2022. So those are the dates, for some of our key fixtures. So we just have to put our fingers crossed for the stadiums to be at least 70% capacity full, as the La Liga president Javier Tebas had just promised. So friends, with that we come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy the video. If you haven't clicked on that subscribe button below, please endeavor to do so you don't miss out on any latest on Barca here on Viva Barca. Until next time, Visca El Barca.